That is the goal, to give you something we really like. Good morning to you. We're live today at the Hokie Smokie restaurant in North Johnson City, right across from the mall. And Lord have mercy, if the smell, and I've eaten here. Look here, I'm too excited to talk about it. I've eaten here many times before. Can't even talk. That's all, folks. But if it tastes as good as it smells, and it does, man, it is smoking good in here today. It is smelling good. The Hokie Smokie, of course, the daily lunch special. We just flipped the lights on. We're open for business. Lunch until 3 o'clock today. The House Smokie Spud. The Hokie Tokie Hubby Hubby Hiba. The Hokie Turkey Club. Lord have mercy. I can't even talk. I'm tore slap up. I can't even say it right. It's like Elmer. Oh, yeah. But that's all, folks. There you go. Yes, Brian Sharp says get the taters and onions. All right, so we've got the Hokie Turkey Club, the barbecue sandwich for lunch, the Smokie Dog, the Smokie Hokie. Jeff's here. He's going to tell us all about it. Also, the homemade barbecue sauce. Whoo, that'd be good for a Christmas present. Take home a jar of homemade barbecue sauce, a quart for $12 and a pint for $7. It'll set you free. Can't even talk. I'm slobbering and slivering all over myself here because it's nice. It's good stuff here at the Hokie Smokie. Absolutely. So it's good stuff. We're here broadcasting live again, having a big time. Just got started. Brian Sharp, hello to you. Jerry Keller, hello to you, my friend. And so we're here, and as we always do, we dedicate the show to the man who hung on the cross. Unashamedly, I am good and upright. I will teach you to walk in my paths. Strive to be humble. I will guide you in justice and teach you my ways, which are mercy and truth. There you go. Psalms 25, verses 8 and 9. Again on this Tuesday. We're here live. We got all kinds of things to talk about here. We're going to be joined a little bit later on by Doug Fritz and the Johnson City Press. Also, some folks in Milligan College going to stop by. Shawn Witten, the head football coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones, who is a former Hokie, is Brian Sharp says, don't put the sauce on top of your head because your tongue will slap you silly trying to get to it. I love it, guy. Where have you been, Sharp? I'm telling you, that's good stuff. Don't put the barbecue sauce on top of your head because your tongue will slap you silly trying to get to it. There you go. So, anyway, we're here live here at the Hokie Smokie. Let's get it started. Hit me with some NFL music, my friend. Monday Night Football, the man showed me again why he should be, and is certainly in the running to be the NFL MVP again this year. Tom Brady putting on the show last night, connecting with Chris Hogan for a 79-yard touchdown pass in the fourth quarter to help the Patriots overcome a sloppy second half and win 30-23 over the Ravens on Monday Night Football. Brady, 406 yards and 3 touchdowns, becoming the fourth NFL quarterback with at least 450 career touchdown passes. Also threw just his second interception of the entire season. LeGarrette Blount rushes for 72 yards and 18 carries, and passing 1,000 yards for the first time since his rookie season with Tampa Bay back in 2010. Patriots 11-2 have won 4 straight, 8 of the last 9 as they continue to inch towards their 8th straight AFC East title. The Ravens, meanwhile, ending a 2-game win streak for the Ravens, who are now 7-6, who now face a challenging route to the playoffs with 2 of their last 3 on the road. Joe Flacco did his best. Hello, Jerry Keller. Andy Dietrich. The Raiders. I'm getting these guys popping up on Facebook Live here. The Raiders. We got the San Diego Chargers. That's a butt whooping on Sunday in San Diego. We're going to put one on them. And so we've got the Raiders. My boys will be in San Diego to battle the Chargers. Hello, Hunter Locke. Thank you, my friend. We're on AM 790 across 20 counties in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Western North Carolina. We are also on the internet at WETB790.com, streaming audio, and also, of course, as we said, Facebook Live. We're here at the Hokie Smokie restaurant in North Johnson City. It's killing me. I don't know if I can go to 1 o'clock before I eat or not, man. It's good. The smell is just killing me. Jeff's going to come by and talk to us in just a second. Joe Flacco did his best to keep Baltimore in the game. He went 37 out of 52. Got through 52 passes for 324 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. The 37 completions for Flacco, by the way, set a Baltimore Raven franchise record. Patriots led 23-3 for the Ravens, warmed up and caught fire. So they, again, entered the week with NFL's top-ranked defense, giving up only 300 yards per game. But, again, Brady exposed them as he always does. 406 yards alone throwing the ball. And so the Patriots again, flex their muscles and let you know, hello, Damon Depew, let you know why they are one of the teams to be reckoned with again for the Super Bowl. And so right now they're without question the number one seed. Here's the seeding again today. New England, Kansas City, the Steelers, and Houston, the top four. Then come the Raiders. Denver, Miami, and Baltimore hanging on by a thread in the AFC. NFC does not change because both are AFC teams last night. Dallas, Detroit, Seattle, and Atlanta, the top four right now in the NFC. So if we stop today and start playing NFL playoff football, which we will in, 3 weeks? Here's your seeding: Dallas, Detroit, Seattle, Atlanta, the Giants, Tampa Bay, the Redskins, and Minnesota. So there's your top 8 seeds right now in the NFL. Coming up later on, we got some, yes. Oh, yeah. It was a tight game last night for a while, but again, they found a way to win and won it 30-23. And so, again, Dallas, Detroit, Seattle, Atlanta, the Giants, Tampa Bay, the Skins, and Minnesota, the top 8 seeds right now in the NFC. What else happening in the National Football League? Let's run it down before we got a whole stack of stuff happening. Of course, you know from yesterday, we talked about this yesterday on the show when we were live at Chick-fil-A. Jeff Fisher got fired. Again, why would he not? He was not a very good coach. He wasn't real good in Tennessee for the Titans, but he compiled a record of 31 wins, 45 losses, and 1 defeat. That was his record with the Rams. He oversaw the move from St. Louis to Los Angeles, but again, didn't get it done. They fired their coach. Special teams coordinator John Fassel serving as interim coach. Rams will be at Seattle on Thursday night. They got whooped up pretty bad, 42-14. They got routed up with the Falcons on Sunday. Spelled the end for Fisher, who tied, how about this for a record, the dubious distinction of tying Dan Reeves with 165 regular season defeats. That's the most in league history. Wow. No, that's not one you want to be sitting around the Christmas tree this year and say, kids, gather around. Dad or granddad, whatever wants to tell you that I am the worst coach in NFL history. 165 regular season defeats for Jeff Fisher. Fisher has the lowest winning percentage among coaches with 130-plus losses at only 51%. LA 4-9 this season and scored a league-low 194 points. Todd Gurley said their offense, running back for the Rams, was likened to a middle school offense. So enough's enough, they said, and they let him go again. And John Fassel will now be the interim head coach for the Los Angeles Rams, who, by the way, will be wearing a throwback helmet coming up on Thursday night. The Rams will go back to the old blue and white back in the days of Roman Gabriel and Deacon Jones back in the 70s, hoping maybe to change their fate, but I don't think changing uniforms will make much difference. They can run out there in spandex. I don't think it's going to make any difference. You are what you are. And so or Deacon Jones or somebody, yeah, because it's I don't think the change in the helmet's going to make any difference. But anyway, the Rams got the Seahawks on Thursday night in Seattle. It's a big game for the Seahawks. The Rams can play spoiler, but again, changing the helmets, don't think it's going to make any difference. Some other NFL. There you go. There you go. Some other NFL news. Hugh Jackson, the Browns coach, sending a clear message to Terrell Pryor. He's been belly aching and crying. He said, get over it. Again, the Browns lose, again, their 13th loss of the season against the Bengals on Sunday. After the game, Cincinnati's Pac-Man Jones was covering Pryor, called him a sissy and called him garbage. So Jones was upset with Pryor because Pryor told the Bengals coordinator that he would end up getting Jones cut. Pryor's now recorded just 3 catches for 21 yards in 2 games against the Bengals this season. So I think Jones's job is probably pretty safe, but he told everybody over in Cincinnati, so let me tell you what, when I get done with old Pac-Man Jones, he'll lose his job because I'm going to catch so many passes against him. 3 catches for 21 yards in 2 games. So anyway, Hugh Jackson, again, sending out a message to Terrell Pryor saying, quote, I don't think it has any place in the National Football League, especially in this team. We're going to try and get all those things quieted down. We're just going to play football, be the best football players we can be. Let's get away from all that. So there you go. And that's what the coach says. Coach says basically shut up and play football. And I would agree with that. Also, a couple of other stories I want to pass on to you in the National Football League. Jerry Jones making the announcement again saying no question Tony Romo is not my guy right now. Dak Prescott will be my starting quarterback till further notice, even though he struggled big time against the Giants on Sunday night. He only went 17 out of 37 for 165 yards, sacked 3 times, intercepted twice. Not a good day. Cowboys only 1 out of 15 on third down opportunities in that game. And so, which is interesting because the game prior to that, against the Vikings, the Cowboys were 1 of 9 in third down completions. So, anyway, Jerry Jones comes out and says, let me just go ahead and quell all rumors or all chit-chat. Dak Prescott is my quarterback till further notice. And Romo said, absolutely. So Jerry Jones made that very clear in the press conference yesterday in Dallas. Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we're live on the road today. We are at the Hokie Smokie restaurant here in North Johnson City. Tomorrow we're going to be at Mike's Medicine Mart in Kingsport. Thursday we're going to be at Champion Chevrolet. And so we will continue to hop around and move around. Next week we're on the trail all over the place, heading into the week of Christmas, so before Christmas. But again, today we're at the Hokie Smokie, where lunch is being served right now. Again, the daily lunch specials, the House Smoky Spud, the Hokie Turkey Club. That's a good one right there. With those sweet potato fries. Barbecue sandwich served with fries and a drink. A smoky dog served with the fries and a drink. Or a smoky hokie, which is a turkey leg served with fries and a drink. Homemade barbecue sauce, all that again available here at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson, right across from the Johnson City Mall. Now, let's go and talk before we take a break about my guys, the Raiders. NFL officials and members of the Raiders brass are met yesterday to discuss the proposal to keep the team in Oakland. The meeting is expected to include Fortress investments as well. So, on Tuesday, today, the Oakland City Council and Alameda County Board of Supervisors will vote on a proposed term sheet for a $1.3 billion stadium. Mayor Libby Schaff of Oakland said the agreement, quote, puts Oakland in the running to keep the Raiders in a way that is responsible in Oakland. This comes at a time when the Raiders have their eyes on Las Vegas, with the Nevada legislature having approved $750 million in public funding. The Raiders have not commented on the term sheet from the developers, including Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott, a group that would contribute $400 million towards the stadium. Former Raider says, we want to keep the Raiders in Oakland. So, all sides feel an obligation to investigate any proposal put together, but there are questions and issues the Raiders may have, so stay tuned. Some want them there, and some want them to relocate in Las Vegas. The Gator Man's watching down Cherokee Barbershop in South Johnson City, right down from Tipton Ames Working Farm there in the Executive Park South building complex. Again, he's open today and having a big time. David Browning, wow, son of a gun. That's Barney Five. He's watching. Hello, David Browning. Guy mimics and does Barney Five to a T. Good job, David. I'm sorry? Yes, he does. Yes, he does. David Browning is watching. Again, the Gator Man at Cherokee Barbershop. Again, he's open today, and of course, haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. You get to keep the cup. And so he is on the way. He's long past his goal of first-time customers this year. He is now flirting with 200 in 1 year. And so he has to the end of the month to make that happen. And so he is in the 190s. Can't remember exactly where the number is, but he is in the 190s. And so we want to say hello to the Gator Man listening down at the Cherokee Barbershop, one of our great sponsors. Again, that is in South Johnson City, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm. Last but not least, head coach of the Raiders, Jack Del Rio, said enough's enough. Manget, his punter, he's been flagged for not one but 2 unsportsmanlike penalties. 2 weeks ago, he picked up the flag that had a flag in and around the play when he was punting. He picked the flag up and danced with it, the official's flag. Of course, that got him a flag. This guy's an idiot. He's a heck of a punter, but I don't think elevator hits all the floors, I think. So, Raiders head coach told reporters yesterday he did not have any unsportsmanlike penalties during his 11-year playing career. Jack Del Rio was a bad mamma jam as a linebacker. Now we have 2 unsportsmanlike penalties in back-to-back weeks from our punter. We're not going to have any more. Ooh, there you go. Raiders coming off the first loss since October, now tied with the Chiefs for the AFC West lead. King was flagged in last Thursday's loss for yapping at Tyreek Hill after his 78-yard punt return. So they ran it back on him, talked a little smack, and Marquette took exception to it and got a little jousting going on, got him a flag. And 2 weeks ago, he picked up the penalty flag, was on the ground, and danced with it, and then threw it back down. What an idiot. All right, he's one of the Raiders. Win, lose, or time, a Raider till I die. But anyway, there you go. It is the... No, it's Tom Taylor Sports. We're going to take a break, and Jeff's going to join us here. Jeff Bailey, the owner here of the Hokie Smokie. One more thing before we switch gears to the National Football League. They've announced the games now to go to London, England now. Roger Goodell is adamant we're going to have an NFL team on a permanent basis in London in the years to come. So there's 4 games they've already set for next year. The dates have not been set, but here's who's going to be playing each other in London, England at Wembley Stadium. The Saints in Miami, Baltimore and Jacksonville, the Vikings and the Browns. Can you imagine the folks over in over in England, wanting to go show up and watch the teams lost 13 in a row, the Browns? Let's go get a spot. Let's go get a spotlight tea and watch the Browns. Let's go watch them get their brains beat out. Lord. And I have a terrible English accent, but can you imagine? I mean, what? I guess. I mean, but why would you send the Browns over there? The Vikings, I get that with Peterson and the Vikings, pretty good draw. But the Browns, that is not a team I would send over trying to get a fan base built in London, England, to send the Cleveland Browns over there. So anyway, the last team is Arizona and the Rams. So the Saints, Miami, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Minnesota, Cleveland, and Arizona and the Rams. Those 4 teams, or 4 games, will be playing each other. And so that's going to be happening in Wembley, England, and London, England, 2017. The man, the myth, the legend's in there. Shawn Witten, head football coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones, former Hokie at the Hokie Smokie restaurant. We're going to talk to him next year. We're live here at the Hokie Smokie in Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
How's it going?
Doing great. Hey, Jeff. Is your daddy coming?
Huh?
Is your dad coming? Well, Shawn Witten?
How you doing,
Shawn, Jeff Bailey.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
My man came over. Appreciate him coming. He's going to come and talk to Hokies, talk football, and he's going to eat, feed him.
Awesome.
And then
I'm good.
I'll grab something to eat.
Nah, man, that's all right. I got to head back anyway.
We'll take it with you.
That's all right. I'm staying trim over the holidays.
Well, blow it out for me. As soon as we're done visiting, won't you come over?
Yeah.
I'm hitting this. The lunch menu.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that good?
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the catering. You and I are going to talk about the catering.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe get you something to eat. Come
I'm good, man, really. I got to head back soon.
You got the best wings
No,
you've ever eaten in your life.
He will. Fix him something. Just take him with him. He can give it to his
We'll
staff.
give it to somebody. Just pretend you're in it. What kind of wings do you like?
No, I don't want no wings. I'm good, seriously, yeah.
Brisket? Anything?
No, I'm good.
Look at the menu. And just
All right.
You're leaving with something.
At least a sweet tea.
Yeah.
All right, Facebook folks, we're back here again. We're wearing 2 hats. We got radio going, of course, Facebook as well. Hello, Fred Luthke and David Browning. Again, our buddy Barney Fife, also Gator. So we're getting ready to talk to Shawn Witten here, who's a former Hokie, which makes sense to come over to the Hokie Smokie restaurant. So we're going to do that. Also, yeah, Fred, you're right. The Titans over the Broncos, that was a huge win for Tennessee. Kind of plants that seed for good stuff in the future. Sweet tea for Coach, please. Yeah. So, how you doing, Bubba?
Good. Glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. We'll crank it back up here. Oh, I'm going to do this, too. Got a glare on the old screen. We'll pick this up where they can see. There you go. We'll going to do it like this. So, Facebook folks, we're here again at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. If you've never been here, man, the smell kills me now. It smells in here. It's been smoking meat all morning long here. So here we go. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we're live again at the Hokie Smokie, also Facebook Live, also on AM 790 across 20 counties here in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Western North Carolina. Streaming audio around the world at WETB790.com. And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Look at him right here, grinning like a fox in a hen house. That's our man, Shawn Witten, the head football coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. Coach, also a former Hokie. Thanks for stopping by.
It's a great place to be. I've never actually been here before, so I'm glad to be here.
Hokie Smokie, yeah, this place, does it smell good or
what?
what?
Oh, man, the barbecue is unbelievable. You can It's something else. You can't pass up some good barbecue.
As soon as you pull up on the parking lot, he's got the smoker going out back, and of course he's smoking hams and turkeys for Christmas. We're going to let him tell you more about that in a moment, the owner, Jeff Bailey. But let's talk about the Hokies. First off, they're getting ready to get ready for Arkansas. We'll talk about that in a moment. But let's talk about your days back when you played for the Virginia Tech Hokies and some of the great memories for you.
Well, it all starts off playing for Beamer ball. Frank Beamer, just opportunity to play for him, and a coach that believed in blue collar work ethic and giving guys an opportunity. And the era that I was there, there's some Gate City guys there. There's some Southwest Virginia guys also. The privilege to go play for Coach Beamer. To being recruited by Charlie Wiles, the defensive line coach, is still there to this day, and just have an opportunity to play. And I got there at the right time, the peak of Virginia Tech football. Coming off a Music City Bowl win over Alabama in 1998, and then my freshman year. What a freshman year I had. Opportunity coming in and getting a chance to be a part of a Big East championship football team, and then obviously the chance to play as a true freshman in the national championship Nokia Sugar Bowl game against Florida State. So really, what can you say about playing for Virginia Tech and playing amongst some great guys? John Engelberger is a name that played in the National Football League defensive lineman. Corey Moore is a Big East Player of the Year. And then high school football, you talk about backyard brawls, but man, in the Big East Conference, Syracuse, West Virginia, Pittsburgh, Temple, Rutgers, Miami, man, there was some backyard brawls against those teams. And so just real fortunate opportunity to go on and further education and play for a great university.
Talking to Shawn Witten again. We're live with the Hokie Smokie here in North Johnson City. Lunch is being served here. Of course, they're open all day long. We'll let Jeff talk about that in a minute with the owner. There's lots going on here for the holidays, including, as we said, come by and get you a smoked ham or a smoked turkey for Christmas. Let them do the smoking for you. And I've had that before. In fact, I had it for Thanksgiving. A little bit of it here this past Thanksgiving, and it was awesome. Some smoked turkey here from the Hokie Smokie restaurant here in North Johnson City. Coach, you're obviously a very successful coach here locally now with the Elizabethton Cyclones. Who or what did you take from playing at Virginia Tech? Who were some of the coaches? Have you kind of taken some of their coaching techniques now for you?
Well, Tony Ball was my receiver coach who went on to coach for Mark Richt at the University of Georgia. He spent some time with the Les Miles at LSU. Took a lot from him and just the work ethic and, a lot of different, the practice, schedules and just, guys flying around, as you come to watch us practice, multiple guys getting involved, getting a lot of guys moving around during the course of practice. And then, honestly, I think the biggest thing for me is, when you play for Frank Beamer, you got to be able to do some special teams. Obviously making plays with special teams, getting some difference makers, returning kicks, taking pride in those kids, getting some starters and role players in on those special teams and making that a big emphasis, just like offense and defense. And then I think that the tenacity and toughness of what I learned from Coach Beamer, just, he was a player's coach, wanted the guys to do things right. It always disappointed him and hurt him when the guys made bad decisions. So he invested a lot in the guys, and that's what I try to do with my players. And I think too, just a blue collar program. Guys where first it's about work ethic. You're going to come in and you're going to take that old coal miner hard hat and that lunch pail, Bud Foster lunch pail defense, and just go to work. And I think that when you do that, you set yourself up for a lot of success.
We're talking to Shawn Witten. We're live here at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. Thanks for being with us here again on this Tuesday. We're live here again at the Hokie Smokie restaurant, and so. You look at this Virginia Tech football team and you look at the job Justin Fuente's done coming in to take over for Frank Beamer. Done a heck of a job. Was named ACC Coach of the Year. Well,
I think a lot of people, we talked about it last week, were just wondering how him and Bud Foster were going to coexist. And, just the spectacular season they've had this year. And, I think that everybody was kind of, cautiously optimistic about the offensive changes that were going to take place. And, Fuente being at TCU and Memphis, and then you got Lynch, at the Denver Broncos, the number one draft pick for the Denver Broncos this year, and then we had Gerard Evans coming in, the number one JUCO quarterback coming in. So I think there's a lot left for us to do. A big bowl game against Arkansas, to start off the new year, and then Arkansas is a good team. Brett Bielema got the biggest offensive line, the biggest hogs in the country. So a big win over an SEC team. will put us right where we need to be heading into the new year recruiting.
You hear the players talk about running to the tee again at Neyland Stadium at the University of Tennessee. What was it like for Shawn Witten to come out of that?
Shoot, Inner Sandman. Every time you hear it, every time you hear it, you just want to get jumping in, riding in the car. I just tell you, it's a spectacular place. And then, people like Kirk Street, and Lee Corso and the game day guys. It's an electrifying experience there. I tell you, the other great thing about Virginia Tech is the Thursday night games were magnificent. We always play 2 a year, one on the road, one at home. Play at Miami, play at West Virginia. Those were some great rivalries there. And I think there's a lot of unique traditions. There's a great fan base of Virginia Tech. There's a great pride. There's and a lot of that credits to Coach Beamer and his staff. The loyalty, the continuity, and then a lot of great players. When I was there, we had a lot of great players. Michael Vick to say, but we started. Kevin Jones was the #1 player out of Pennsylvania, chose us over Penn State. And so D'Angelo Hall played a number of years in the National Football League, Redskins, Atlanta Falcons, Oakland Raiders. So there's a lot of great guys, and we built quite a name for ourselves at Virginia Tech.
Talking to Shawn Witten, the head football coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. Again, a Hokie of his own right. Again, are you going to the Milk Bowl, by the way?
I don't know. Hopefully, we'll see.
You went down to Dallas and saw Bubby play, and, they got swept with the Giants. That's tough to swallow.
Yeah, it is. It's just a tough game there. But they got 3 big games left. Another Sunday night marquee matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They got the Detroit Lions after that, and then they go to finish the season off in Philadelphia. So they got to win 2 out of the next 3 to get home field advantage. I think that's the key. I think going to places like Seattle will be tough, and especially in January, it'll be tough there. But you mentioned the Titans earlier. I was 7 rows up behind the bench of the Broncos Sunday afternoon, Titans and Broncos. I tell you, that was an awesome thing to kind of go see down in Nashville and witness those guys, Marcus Mariota, and they got the old Cowboys running back and DeMarco Murray, I should say. So had an opportunity to go down there Sunday, and one of my buddies had great tickets there, 7 rows up behind the bench. That's a great experience.
Can't beat that.
No, you can't.
That's up close and personal. So you play Division I football, of course, Virginia Tech, and you're that close to the NFL, of course, with Jason. How does the game differ between college and pro?
Well, I just think this, if you ever get a chance to go to one of those games and sit down low, you can tell the trenches, those offense and defensive linemen and the speed of the game. It's just, you're talking about Paxton Lynch, the quarterback from Justin Fuente, to play at Memphis. He's a 6'6", 6'7" quarterback. It's just, the size of those guys. You looked at the left tackle for the Titans, Lumen, from the Michigan Wolverines. He's a 6'7", 310, just a massive human being. The physical aspects of it, and that's where, when you look at Jason's career over 14 years and the consecutive games he's played, and those guys, battle injuries. We see it each week, how many people are on the injury report list going into each game. So, it's a tough game. It's Jason's been fortunate enough to stay healthy, but you got to, we watched Marcus Mariota take off on a quarterback run. Just electrifying, how fast that guy is. And so, those guys are freaks of nature. Just the freaks of habits, their wingspan, the size of their hands, just the speed, the ability to change directions. It's just a different game. I think a lot, the atmospheres a lot of times in the college games, you get, the fan base, the fan base follows you wherever you go. But, it's exciting to see anytime you go. One of the things I'm most proud of is, a lot of people around here don't see it, but I think it's a cool thing about going to pro games is seeing all the people wear professional jerseys. You see all the 82 jerseys in the stands. You see all the different jerseys in the stands and people buying those jerseys. I think that's a lot of respect for a lot of the players.
We're talking to Shawn Witten. Again, we're live with the Hokie Smokie here. Coming up, we're going to hear from Doug Fritz and the John City Press. Also got some folks coming in from Milligan College talking about the Buffaloes and see what's going on there. They're down right now because everybody's going home for Christmas break, but I think the men's team's still playing. We'll let Daniel Manget tell us about that. And also cross-country coach Chris Lane, who just wrapped up a very successful cross-country season at Milligan. He's going to stop by and talk to us. We're here at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. Lunch is being served. Booths are filling up, and so it's a good time to be here. And and get some great food from the Hokie Smokie restaurant here in North Johnson City. You look at this NFL season. What do you, as a head coach, what's it do to a program to fire? I mean, Jeff Fisher, they stunk it up the other day, and they finally let the guy go. He has an NFL record. I said before you walked in here, he has lost 165 games. It's an NFL record. What's it do? I mean, they got to turn around and play a football game Thursday night in Seattle, which is not going to be easy. How do you get a team turned around after losing your coach?
Well, I think that's tough, especially like you said playing on Thursday night games. I don't know how those guys play Sunday, turn around and prepare, but that's the business in the National Football League. Jeff Fisher's been in it for 22 years. A lot of those guys. He's a great man. He's a great football coach. But I think the Los Angeles Rams making that transition move to LA. I mean, they need a spark. They had the #1 draft pick and Jared Goff, and they got Todd Gurley. So they got to get somebody in there with some offensive creativity and they got to out there in LA. They got to bring a lot of entertainment out there playing. In the Coliseum with a lot of great football teams out there. You got the Lakers out there. You got the Clippers. So, they need to get a big name out there and then hopefully, turn around that franchise. So a lot of people are looking to them. And, Jeff Fisher's a great coach a lot of times. He's been spent that many years at the Titans, been that many years with the Rams. And, so a guy that's been in it, obviously knows what he's done for 22 years. But, a lot of times it's just, sometimes you get different players in there and the expectations, and this will probably be the start of many coaches in the offseason for the NFL coaching carousel.
I want to say hello to Steve Shipley, a dear friend, listening, watching us down in Middle Tennessee on Facebook, former coach at Dobbins Minute, great guy, great friend. So hello, Coach. And
I see Steve McCauley on there, FCA representative.
FCA, yeah, there you go. Jill McKinney's watching. What a sweetheart she is. Larry Shively Jr. is watching. That's the athletic director at Dobbins Minute. So we're watching and talking to Shawn Witten. The other coaching change since we talked last week, we were at Berman Sports together last week. Lane Kiffin rolls out of Alabama to go to Florida Atlantic. He's a lame duck offensive coordinator. What's that do to the chemistry of this team trying to win a national championship?
Well, I think that becomes tough. Last year with Kirby Smart, leaving to go to Georgia, pulling that double duty, it becomes sometimes becomes tough. But obviously Lane's probably just wanting to be a head coach again and try to make a name for himself. Try to do things right, and then he's got what better man you got than Nick Saban, out there endorsing you for athletic directors to hire you. So. But can you imagine the coaches in the state of Florida now at the college level? I mean, Charlie Strong going to, South Florida. You got Butch Davis returning to Florida International. I mean, man, Scott Frost at Central Florida. I mean, there's some powerful coaches in the state of Florida now. So just exciting. It's just exciting for college football. It's probably exciting for Florida Atlantic to, a team that's last 3 years, they said went 3-9 for 3 consecutive seasons. They got an athletic budget. They mentioned that the whole entire budget is just $27 million. So probably a great thing for Florida Atlantic. But you got to feel for those universities like that because pretty sure Lane's probably going to try to be there 2 or 3 years. Once he gets it turned around, he's going to hit to the Power 5 conferences and just like Tom Herman did at Houston. So you feel bad for those schools and those programs, but that's the college atmosphere and that's the way it rolls.
They said that they asked that very question to Howard Schnellenberger, who got the program rolling. He said, "The guy's 82 years old." He said, "Hey, you got to roll the dice, take a chance, get him in there. If he uses us as a stepping stone, so be it. But you got to take a chance to get this guy when you can get him." And so, and you mentioned a great point. Those coaches. You also throw in Jimbo Fisher, Florida State, Jim McElwain of Florida, and Mark Richt in Miami. So Florida's a hotbed for recruiting, and boy, it's going to get intense.
Well, it does. I tell you, it's just like the state of Texas. The many schools there are, but you love to see those, teams like Florida Atlantic. The turnaround, Houston turnaround. South Florida coach, leads against the Oregon job. So you love to see a lot of those guys, and then it's hopefully. You hope that Lane's learned something by his 3 years there at Nick Saban, and what better program when you got 5-star athletes like crazy there, just chomping at the bit to get into University of Alabama. So we'll see. Time will tell, and hopefully he's learned from his mistakes that he's made in the past, and hopefully he can get things turned around.
Elizabethton football. You had Johnny Ray Woodby in the All-Star game this weekend. Tell me how that went.
Well, it's just good to see Johnny get a chance to play against some great competition, try to make a name for himself. And then, also, we just had a great year. And, you love to see different guys get a part of the All-Star game. We got an All-Star game this week with the FCA Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We got one in January with the Border Bowl. Going to be up in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, so it's going to be a good thing. So, it's just good to see these guys get a chance to play one more game. And I think what's special about it too is just the people you compete against. The people you follow in the newspaper and you see on the news, and the different schools. So it gives a chance to buddy up with them one more time. And it's sometimes pretty cold out here to practice in December, but it's a great thing for this kids, great thing for the area, and really happy for Johnny the way he got a chance to play in the East-West game.
Are you involved in any of the staffs right now for All-Star?
Going to be involved this week with the FCA All-Star game. There's a couple schools from they used to have the Tennessee versus Virginia. Now they've joined forces and they split kind of the Tennessee schools and split some of the Virginia schools. So that's going to take place Saturday, 1 o'clock at Tennessee High. And then in January 21st is going to be the Border Bowl, Tennessee versus Kentucky. I'm actually the head coach for that this week and for that game. And it's just exciting to see. And, Steve McCauley, those guys at FCA Fellowship of Christian Athletes. But, this week, get a chance for those guys to play one more game, but it's more about, they got presented with jerseys last night. They got presented with a team Bible, so hopefully you're just trying to make relationships and impacts that hopefully can help those guys as they enter their next part of the future.
There you go. Landon Owens watching us, Director of Ticket Sales, Bristol Motor Speedway. Love that guy, too. Love you, too, man. You're awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I know you get back to class, to school, and got your Christmas shopping done yet?
Well, it's an ongoing list when you got 3 kids. So, especially when you got my middle boy, he just had a birthday. He turns 4 December 17th, so he gets double duty double hammered. So just excited to be, it's a great time, and be around family and friends, and then obviously keep cheering on them Cowboys. So, and a lot of bowl games, a lot of great matchups. So going to be a lot of time to sit on the couch and watch some great football, eat some great food.
You got it. Appreciate you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Shawn Witten, the head football coach of Elizabethton Cyclones, stopping by. Appreciate it very much. We're at the Hokie Smokie here in North Johnson City. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. Got Milligan College coming up a little bit later on in the show. And also, we're going to hear from Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press, going to stop by. And he's got a lot going on today's Johnson City Press. And we're going to talk to him a lot about high school football and high school basketball and the TSSAA and everything going on around high school sports here in the local scene. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
I like Doug. He does a good job. He's one of those guys.
Yes, please.
Try to do a great job for the area. Without guys like Doug Fritz and them, it's hard.
Mr. Taylor.
You Mr. Lister?
Yes, sir.
How are you, sir?
Nice meeting you.
Yes, sir. You know Coach Witten?
How you doing, Shawn Witten?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
Don't spend it all in one place.
Try not to. Just to you every day, you and did.
Well, thank you very much.
We became friends last year when I bought a motorcycle from him.
Oh, you bought a bike from him?
Yeah, that Kawasaki head.
Yeah. Good.
Traded it for a gold wing. Now I got 10 gold wing, 1800 series.
Awesome. It's too cold to ride it today?
No, I just had to come into the doctor.
Oh.
You have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Christmas.
Thank you for listening. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, I'm going to come over there tonight. I'm going to bring my phone. I've got it rigged up if I can broadcast over my phone. I'm going to do some Elizabethton's basketball. I'm trying to. I got a little gizmo. We'll come up and sit in the stands and see if it'll work. See if we can pick up and cut out the crowd noise, ambient noise. So, you gonna come to the game?
I didn't know they was playing tonight. Really?
Playing
we got practice over at DB for that All-Star game.
Yeah, they're playing North. So.
You know what's crazy about those pros and those colleges? How quickly they can just
jump.
I mean, you're moving from Lisbon to Johnson City, or you take a job and switch schools, you can still commute a little bit. Those guys just pick up and they just move to the next day. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's unbelievable. You know what I mean? And then within 2 years, they may be. It's just like you just go.
And we're back again at the Hokie Smokie restaurant here in North Johnson City, broadcasting live with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, thanks to my man one more time on camera. Wave at us, big guy, Shawn Witten, the head football coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones, and he has a brother that's a pretty good football player down in Big D, the Cowboys. They got a big game coming up, as you heard him say, and doors flying open. Folks coming in to have a little lunch with us, and we're glad that they are. And we get Jeff on here. Hello, kids. How are you? Come on in here.
Good.
Cowboys, by the way, for you Cowboy fans, which you probably know, they're going to be back home Big D against Jameis Winston and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming up on Sunday Night Football. By the way, touchstones, give us a call. Be calling number 2. Hello, Tommy Alderman. Light us up right now at 929-7900. And you get a chance to win some free cold cash for Christmas. In fact, Bill Lister just came in here and picked up his check. So happy Merry Christmas. He won last week. So we're getting you qualified for some free cold cash. And all you got to do is be calling number 2. Light us up at 929-7900 is the number to call. As Coach Witten alluded to, Lane Kiffin leaving. Again, Alabama's gone. Well, he's not gone. He's going to be a lame duck coach. How do you do that? How do you focus on getting Alabama ready for the playoffs against Washington and possibly Clemson or Ohio State for the national championship and still have your eye towards Florida Atlantic? I meant to ask Coach Witten that and forgot to because I sat and talked to that guy for the whole show. But anyway, it's I would think it would be very tough to do if you're Lane Kiffin, and also if you're Nick Saban. I mean, he's going to, I'm sure, tell him, okay, while you're here, you're 100% Alabama. Sounds good, but I don't know if you can really and truly do that because you're trying to put together a staff. You're recruiting, as Coach Witten said, you're up against, 6 or 7 other big-name coaches, not to mention the other schools that dip down into Florida and come after the recruiting of your athletes that are non-Floridian coaches. So I don't see how Lane Kiffin does that. I should have asked him that, and I didn't, but that's okay. He was, as always, a fabulous interview. Notre Dame quarterback Deshaun Kaiser declaring the NFL draft Monday, leaving, giving up his senior season, opening up the Fighting Irish starting job next year for Brandon Wimbush. Kaiser put together solid junior seasons, and I'm going to move on. And so he is moving into, again, going to the NFL next year. Also, as we said, it's a 5-year deal for Lane Kiffin. Numbers have not been released, but it's going to be less than 1.4 he's making in Alabama, I guarantee you that. But he will remain Alabama's offensive coordinator through the college football playoff. And so Kiffin making the jump. Of course, he coached for the Raiders and Tennessee, and of course Southern Cal, and most recently, as you know, with Alabama now moving on to Florida Atlantic. And so that's what's going on there. And so they will, again, begin the search, I would assume. Hello, Calvin Clifton. They'll begin the search, I guess, ASAP. Nick Saban will. I'm sure he's got some money in his pocket. Now, the word is the guy brought over from Southern Cal, Steve Sarkisian, the guy that ran into some trouble with alcohol, and they let him at Southern Cal, who is a brilliant offensive coordinator, offensive mind. The word on the street is that's why Nick Saban brought him there. So I'm wondering if something was said, or there's been some talk, and folks knew something, or not folks, but he knew something before the season, because as this thing's unfolded, all of a sudden Sarkisian is there and can step right in to be the interim offensive coordinator until they find somebody or put him in full time. So I think Saban probably knew something more we knew about what's going on with the offensive coordinating position, again, at the University of Alabama. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Again, we're live here again at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City, the House Smokie Spud, the Hokie Turkey Club, the barbecue sandwich, the Smokie Dog, and the Smokie Hokie, which is a turkey leg served with fries and a drink. Those are your lunch specials here. Also, the homemade barbecue sauce. Take home a jar of homemade barbecue sauce, quart for $12, pint for $7. Be a great stocking stuffer for the old Christmas, which is coming up in, 11 days? Is that right? Good grief. 11 days. Hard to believe. So many good days, Valentine's Day. We've done cycled back around to Christmas, so 'tis the season. And again, as we've told you, the big story out of college football, the leaving of Lane Kiffin to Florida Atlantic, as Coach Witten alluded to, that there's big bowl season cranking up. There's 6 games. Run those down for you coming up here in a few minutes. 6 games, including the Camellia Bowl coming up in Montgomery, Alabama. Toledo at 9-3, and the Appalachian State Mountaineers, our nearby neighbor, at 9-3. So good luck to the Mounties in Boone, North Carolina. Go play there in, as we said, in Montgomery, Alabama. The Camellia Bowl coming up on Saturday evening about 5:30, I believe it is. So they've got the Toledo Rockets and the Appalachian State Mountaineers, and gentleman over there is doing a fantastic job, too, the head coach for the Appalachian State Mountaineers, to get that not necessarily turned around. He kind of picked up and kept running with it. And so they've done a fantastic job after switching to the new conference. They're now in the Sun Belt Conference. And so good move there. Ben Foy, who got qualified for the free money, my friend? Gary Taylor out of Churchill. Hello, Gary Taylor in Churchill. Appreciate you very much. Now we got Nick and Taylor and Kirsten in here working. Again, as we're here live with the Hokie Smokie, and I'm going to get Jeff in here. Jeff was sitting there. Now he's taking off. We'll get him in here in just a minute, the owner of said establishment. We're going to take a break, come right back. We'll take a look at college basketball and also some Major League Baseball news. And so we got that coming up. And also we've got one college football note. Let's go ahead and finish it up with Notre Dame, the college football. After turning Wake Forest into a top 20 defense this season, defensive coordinator Mike Elko has become a hot commodity with interest from several big programs. Of course, he is the defensive coordinator of Wake Forest. He's expected to interview for Notre Dame's job later on this week. In his third season at Wake Forest, after previously serving in the same role under head coach Dave Clawson at Bowling Green. And so Wake Forest 20th in the country in scoring defense, 13th in sacks, and 10 in turnovers gained. He's also coached in the CAA as a 99 graduate of the University of Pennsylvania. And so, of course, folks know that Notre Dame fired their longtime protege, Brian Van Gorder, the defensive coordinator, in the midst of a 4-8 season for the Fighting Irish. Looks like Kelly's going to survive a cut at Notre Dame. And so he's trying to rebuild that staff. And obviously the one he's got to go after and make that change would be and is his defensive coordinator. And he's looking at Mike Elko from Wake Forest, who's going to be up in the South Bend this week to interview for that position. Quick break. We'll be right back. Got more for you. Again, we've got some high school basketball to talk about. Got a young lady from Daniel Boone signed to go on to play college ball. Also, the East Tennessee State basketball game is now an official sellout. We've got a corporate sponsor that stepped up and said they're going to be sponsoring the game coming up on the 22nd at Freedom Hall. Also, some holiday basketball tournaments coming up we'll tell you about. And also, Tennessee with an All-American on their football team. To no surprise to anybody. We'll tell you all about that coming up next. We're live here at the Hokie Smokie. Again, as you're listening and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show. All right, Facebook fans, thank you again for wherever you may be, and we appreciate you watching very, very much. And so, again, still trying to figure this out, juggling a radio show and a Facebook Live show at the same time, but we're kind of getting the hang of it. So I keep telling you, we're going to fix this so you'll be able to hear the audio on the radio coming down the line onto the Facebook. I got a piece of equipment ordered that's not in here yet, but once that happens, we'll be able to do that. So that way when you hear whatever we're doing at the station, we've got Denny Hamlin coming up. We'll hear from Denny Hamlin, the NASCAR driver. So when we play what's going on at the station, you'll be able to hear that on Facebook. But for now, can't do it today anyway. We're going to hopefully get that equipment in the next 2 or 3 days and be able to have it for you the first of the week. So tomorrow will be at Max Medicine Marty in Kingsport. Thursday will be at Champion Chevrolet here on the Bristol Motor Mile in Johnson City. Friday, I'm not sure where I'm going to be. And then Monday, good grief, let's see where I'm going to be. I guess I better check that myself here and know what I'm doing next week. Monday will be at Hardee's in Colonial Heights. Tuesday, Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Wednesday at Brummett Sports in Elizabethton. Next Thursday, Champion Chevrolet. Next Friday at Food City. Other than that, I'm not doing anything. So there you go, which is very exciting. We appreciate the opportunity to go around and broadcast all these different locations. So we'll just sit tight and come back here in just a second, talk some baseball. An interesting story about hazing in Major League Baseball, which I don't totally get this at all, but anyway, we'll do that coming up here. They'll take me out to the ball game coming up here in just a second here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello, Calvin Clifton. Appreciate you. And Tommy Alderman. T.O., hello, sir. How are you doing? Little Ricky. I need to get Little Ricky on there. I need to get Spivey on there to do a segment with you one day. Taylor, this is Little Ricky. Little Ricky Sicky. Did ball games with that guy for 20 years. Love that guy, Rick Spivey. He's a piece of work, I can tell you that. So, anyway, here we go. And we're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Hello, Jeff Droke. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you being with us. Thank you very, very much. You're awesome. Did you drink it? You got it? Okay. Appreciate him. Shawn Witten got himself something to chase down and go. I appreciate that very, very much. We're here live again at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball. On baseball's biggest stage, one of the best pitchers broke out one of the most controversial training methods. Aroldis Chapman seen throwing off the mound with a weighted baseball. Now, the typical baseball, standard baseball, is 5 ounces. He was throwing a weighted baseball, which is a 10-ounce weighted ball. It's not a new thing for Chapman, but it's not a new thing for baseball. If you remember Mike Marshall back in the 70s, the pitcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, began throwing a weighted baseball into a mattress hung on the fence back in the early 70s, make his arm stronger. Indians pitching coach Mickey Callaway used a 5-pound ball beginning when he was 14 years old, and remember his teammate Jeff Sparks using a 15-pound ball while with Tampa Bay back in the 90s to strengthen the arm. So if you compare that, a shot put that a guy throws, a men's shot put weighs 16 pounds, so they say throwing a weighted baseball makes your arm better. So there are pros and cons to this, but apparently it's something that's catching on in Major League Baseball. With Aroldis Chapman, who throws consistently at 105 miles per hour. And also you've got, pros and cons. I'm reading this article. The Orioles kind of for it. Some of the Major League teams are against it. But again, it looks like it's something that's going to stick around and be taken a look at pretty strongly. And that's a weighted baseball, 10-ounce weighted baseball. So Chapman throws it, must work. He's consistently at 105 mile per hour fastball. Me oh my. And with in fact, in the bullpen prior to the World Series, thrown off the mound with a 10-ounce weighted baseball. So we'll see if that continues to be something that's just kind of a fad or something they're going to take a look at and maybe stick around for a while. Also, let's see, in Major League Baseball, the Braves will give John Danks a chance to resuscitate his once promising injury-plagued career. Bravo is going to bring him in, see if he can get going, a 31-year-old southpaw, who can at least provide some veteran guidance with some of the pitchers down at AAA. And so Danks allowed at least 5 earned runs in 3 of the 4 starts he made before the White Sox released him. Again, he's had an injury-plagued career. When Danks, when he produced a 3.77 ERA over the 124 starts made with the White Sox from 2008 to 2011. His average fastball was right around 90, 92 miles per hour. Since his shoulder surgery, it's dropped down to about 85, 86. So he's been injury-plagued. Braves will give you a chance, and will give him a chance to come in spring training and work out for the Atlanta Braves. All-star closer Kenley Jansen is apparently going back to L.A. The Dodgers' 5-year, $80 million deal to make him one of the offseason's top free agent prizes, staying in Southern California. He'd been courted by the Dodgers, the Marlins, the Nationals, the Orioles, and so he stays. Kenley Jansen stays the Los Angeles Dodger again. 5-year, $80 million deal to stay put. 30-year-old Pablo Sandoval, 3-time World Series champion, earning MVP honors in the 2012 Fall Classic and a 2-time All-Star. They're trying to see if they can keep him around. Since signing a 5-year, $95 million contract with the Red Sox, Sandoval has hit .242. He lost his starting job. And so Pablo Sandoval is trying to get a chance for spring training. And so they're going to see where he can land. He may end up going back to the Giants. I don't know how much the Red Sox really want him. So there is talk about where he may or may not go. And so Sandoval trying to get in shape. He's been on, at one point he was 38 pounds overweight. So stay tuned to where he's going to end up. Pablo Sandoval for the Major League Baseball. And here's the story I don't get. Then we're going to check in with our guy, Daniel Manget from Milligan College is here, our sports information director. But Major League Baseball and the new collective bargaining agreement, one of the things that kind of was in this big, thick agreement that everybody signed off on is a new anti-hazing and anti-bullying policy. Policy will put an end to certain forms of rookie hazing. Specifically, the policy prohibits requiring, coercing, or encouraging players from dressing up as women or wearing costumes that may be offensive to individuals based on their race, their sex, their nationality, their sexual orientation, their gender identifying, or other characteristic. There are pictures of baseball players for kicks dressing up as Disney princesses, and they said, well, you can't do that anymore. Ben, help me with this one, would you please? Tell me why this is even in the agreement that the baseball players can't dress up as girls anymore. Thank you. I don't either. I guess. But I'm thinking, really? So this is in the collective bargaining agreement for Major League Baseball. The players can no longer dress up as women or wearing costumes that may be offensive to individuals. I read this 3 times last night. I pulled this off the wire, and I'm thinking, you got to be kidding me. But it's here. No typo. Can't dress up as girls or wearing costumes that may be offensive to individuals based on their race, sex, nationality, age, sexual orientation, gender identify, or other characteristics. In other words, just be yourself and don't go nuts. And does that mean you can't dress up for Halloween too? I mean, I don't know. So anyway. Exactly. There you go. There's my point. Why would it even be in there? Why do we have to get to that point in our society? Hit the bell. My gosh. They got to put in, you can't dress up as a girl anymore. What is the world coming to? There you go. I guess I have to put my Dorothy Wizard of Oz dress back up. I was going to wear it for New Year's Eve. Oh, well. And I had some new white pumps. There you go, size 14 pumps, and my tutu and the whole thing. Oh, well. All right, we're live here at the Hokie Smokie. Lunch is being served. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 booths are full. We're joined by, tell everybody who you are, my friend.
Hey, Chris Lane, head coach at Milligan College, track and cross country.
Track and cross country, live on Facebook. There I is, and there he is. And, Coach, you've had a great year. Tell me about it. Tell me about some of the things you guys accomplished.
Well, I'm glad you're showing a picture because I'm not dressed up today. No costume. So.
And thank you for that. There you go. Is that not a crazy rule? Why would they even put that rule in there? I know it's not why you're here, but I'm thinking, why would they put a rule in there that guys can't dress up as women? Does that mean the cheerleaders can't dress up as guys and dress up in football? You know, when I was in school, you had the powder puff.
That's right.
Where the girls put on the guys' jerseys and the shoulder pads. So what's good for the goose should be good for the gander and vice versa. So that means that they should be able to get dressed up.
Well, I think we see it at the professional level across the board in all sports. I think we're seeing that players are frustrated with some of these new rules.
Yeah.
And Beckham Jr. and folks like that are outspoken. And I think, certainly this is an issue, and it looks like Major League Baseball is getting in line and doing the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see what the feedback is there.
There you go. Chris Lane with us again, track cross country coach. Just finished a great cross country season at Milligan College. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
Get up a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, we went into the conference championship ranked 8th in the country on the women's side and top 30 on the men's side, and felt like probably our women were a little overrated, to be fair, when looking back now, and men were probably a little underranked. We had an unfortunate conference injury on the women's side. J.J. Robinson, our number 2, and so we went into nationals with very, very reasonable expectations for the women, and kind of reevaluated our standards there and what we were expecting. And of course, really extremely proud of both squads. The men, we knew they had a possibility of cracking the top 25. They went and they took care of business, and then with Hannah stepping up, battling bronchitis to be a national championship runner-up in cross country. I liken that to you asking your center to run point for you in a national championship basketball game. So she's an 800-meter runner. She's a speed, oriented athlete, and really proud of what she did. But then the girls just followed suit behind, and so for us to finish 15th on the women's side, knowing what we were up against, extremely proud. But those wins don't always come with the highest ranking, and I think we had a big win this year, even though we may have dropped a little bit from that point from the conference championships where we ended up at nationals.
Tell me about coaching Hannah Seagraves. What an honor, what a pleasure, right?
Yeah, I mean one of the most talented female track athletes in the Southeast for sure. More than likely the country. I think the young lady has the opportunity to go on in the sport after college, and of course getting exposed to the Olympic trials last year was huge for her, because I think she'll see that platform again, and the next time she goes, that exposure will be valuable for her. She's balled in. She's making a lot of adjustments to her lifestyle. She's starting to ask questions about what it's going to take to continue to get better. And the bottom line is she's talented, and we have a good system in place, and I think we've done a great job of developing her. But she's really buying in, and I think that's the key.
Don and Chris Lane again, the cross country and track coach at Milligan College. We're here again at Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and again, there's a glare behind us on the old coming out the window, so I'm trying to keep you from blowing out your eyes on Facebook Live, but we're here again at the Hokie Smoke. Going to run down some high school sports coming up. Doug Fritz joins us at the bottom of the hour from the Johnson City Press. Daniel Manget is going to join us coming up in a few minutes as the SID, talking about all the sports at Milligan College. So, Coach, what goes on now? Your downtime? You got the kids went home for Christmas. Have they been given a regiment to follow while they're away, or what goes on right now?
Yeah, they have been, and this is a little bit of the scary part, because when they're gone for a month, that's an opportunity to kind of screw things up if you don't stay on top of your program. And I just explained to them individually and as a group on multiple occasions the last week as we're heading out of exams, this is a break, but it's not a break from training, and they've got to come back having taken another step. And if they'll follow the plan, they'll do that. And you know, we haven't gotten where we are without them buying in, and we got a good group, so I expect they'll come back in a good place.
So when you get back on campus, it picks up pretty quick in a hurry, doesn't it, as far as the season?
We've got 1 week, and then we dive right into ETSU's big indoor meet, and you know, switching gears. I mean, we were 2 weeks after cross country, we were right into our first indoor meet, and then we'll switch gears as soon as we get back from Christmas break. We got to meet 7 days later, and so it's important. And a month again is a lot of time to take a step, or it's a lot of time to take a step backwards if you don't do what you're supposed to do. But you know, we got a lot of faith in these kids.
Yeah, and you've it comes down to, like in any college situation, whether it's academic or sports, it comes down to self-discipline. You got to do it, right?
Well, and this sport especially, because you don't have 10 other men around you, or 4 other men or women around you that are picking you up on that day. You've got to get it done. And I say to them, look, guys, this is a difference in cross country and track. You know, for the distance kids that I'm with on a regular basis, and the track kids, the sprinters, jumpers, throwers, hurdlers, they know that it's on them. I mean, what they do, they've got a great baseline for the X's and O's are good, but they got to take advantage of that and do their job.
Appreciate you coming by here, my friend. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and get yourself something to eat, all right?
Thank you, Tom.
Yep, good job. Yep, Chris Lane with us again, the track and cross-country coach. Milligan College. We're live here at the Hokie Smokie and filling up here for lunch, and it's smelling good, and got tables full of guys, and again, having a big time here, and ladies, having lunch here at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. Ben Foy, weather forecast, my friend. Unfortunately, for those of us who like warm weather, it's going to turn cold again for the next couple of days, and it's warm back up. Tell us what's going on with the weather, my friend. You say in the teens Thursday night, is that right? 16 Thursday night. I'm never asking for a weather forecast again, so why did you have to tell me that? Good grief. 16 degrees. Lord have mercy. Where is, see, as I said 2 years ago, I'll never complain about the heat again, and I won't. So can we please have those 90s back? And I'll just spray my face with water to stay cool. I'd much rather do that than trying to stay warm at 16-degree temperatures. What night's that going to be? There you go. The cold temperatures are coming. It's going to warm back up, I believe, the first of the week. We're live here again at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. We're joined by our buddy Daniel Manget, the Sports Information Director at Milligan College. Good afternoon, sir. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
I'm good. Glad I wore my makeup this morning.
There you go.
I was going to be on camera.
There you are, waving. Wave to somebody out there. Say hello to somebody. Your mama, your daddy, somebody. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Wherever. So, and we appreciate him. He does the sports information, does a wonderful job again at Milligan College, the land of the Buffaloes. Classes are out. Folks are done for the time being, aren't they?
Yes, a little bit of a break. I get a little bit of a break, which is good. But actually right now our basketball teams are still kind of competing. Got a couple games scheduled on the road this week, and women play one time in between Christmas and New Year's. But then, yeah, we'll get right back after it in January.
Yep. And so where's the guys playing right now, or going to be playing?
Well, they've kind of gone to opposite extremes, the guys and girls. The guys have gone up to New York for 2 games. They're staying in Jersey, which is kind of where Coach Robinson grew up. They're playing the King's College up there in New York, and then on their way back, they're going to play an exhibition game against William and Mary on Friday. And then the women have gone the exact opposite direction. They're south. They're in Florida this week. They play 2 games against Warner and Witten International.
So the ladies are the smarter ones. You know, I love Coach Robinson, but New York in December, really?
Right.
And Coach Aubrey took the girls to Florida.
Right. I think if I had my choice, I'd be going with the girls.
I'm a roadie for the girls team because we're going south where it's warm.
Right.
Good grief. And they're playing where now? Where's the ladies going to be?
They're at Warner today. They play at 4 today, and then they play Weber tomorrow.
Let's talk about the teams. We're talking to Daniel Manget, the sports information director of Milligan. We're live here at the Hokie Smokie, and let's talk about the season so far. The guys are young. They've taken some lumps. Of course, it's not where you start, where you finish, but how are they doing right now?
The guys, you said it, they're young. Obviously, the inexperience is shown so far this year. I think right now their record is 4-8, maybe 5-8. They did just come off a big conference win last week against Bluefield at home. Conference, I think they were projected preseason to finish, I think 6th, which is probably right around where they are now. So this year probably going to be pretty tough, but I think moving forward they've got a lot of young talent, a lot of freshmen. The whole freshman class really has done really well. And just thinking about years ahead, I think they're going to be pretty good.
Well, he lost all 5 starters at graduation, so
That's
he's
always tough to replace.
2 years in a row.
Right.
So he's in a rebuilding mode in a literal sense. So, again, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. And so the conference tournament for Milligan will be at Meadowview this year again. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah, which is a cool place. I was over there last month and did some MC work for that tournament, and pretty cool. They put a petition down in the middle of the grand ballroom, put up 2 courts, and, you know, until I got over there, I thought, how does that work? But they made it.
Yeah,
they do a good job.
I think, the first year, or since the first year, you can tell it's really grown. And I think the players are kind of adapting to it, teams are adapting to it, and it's definitely getting just bigger and bigger each year. It's really cool.
We're talking to Daniel Manget. We're live here at the Hokie Smokie restaurant in North Johnson City, broadcasting live again on this Tuesday, December the 13th, and the countdown to Christmas. Of course, you got 11 days to get your shopping done. It's all over a week from Sunday. It's hard to believe, is it? It is hard to believe. After Christmas, continuing winter sports. We'll talk about swimming here in just a second, but spring kicks in and they get back on campus. Coach Lane talked about the spring track season, but also baseball and softball get cranked up too, right?
Yeah, baseball, softball will be going, and they'll start in February. We've also got tennis as a spring segment, golf as a spring segment. It gets really busy during the spring for sure.
Took a big deep breath because you know what's coming, right?
Yeah, I have to enjoy this break, this nice little downtime while it lasts.
All right, tell me about your Falcons.
I think we're in pretty good shape.
All right.
I think we're in pretty good shape for making the playoffs. Super Bowl, maybe. Probably not, if I'm being honest.
Super Bowl? The Falcons? Nah. Ain't happening. No.
Maybe.
Lunch bet right here. Hokie Smokie, ain't happening. You say yes, I say no. You want?
I said maybe. I didn't say yes. I said maybe.
I want to get into his wallet. All right, so the Falcons.
But I think they'll win the South, the NFC South. I think at this point it's really just between them and Tampa Bay right now, right?
Yes. I'm looking at the records here. NFC South, Tampa Bay at 8-5. The Falcons at 8-5. Trying to see where you guys play this week. You'll be at home against the lowly 49ers. So surely to goodness, Science Hill could beat the 49ers. That's no disrespect to Science Hill or Elizabethton. Pick a team. 49ers are god awful, but that's okay. That's old Colin. I feel sorry for the old boy. Not. So anyway, the Falcons are at home against the San Francisco 49ers. My boys will be down the left coast. The Raiders in San Diego to battle the Chargers. So it's all good. And so we're talking to Daniel Manget, the sports information director of Milligan College. Anybody so far in basketball, are they flirting with any kind of records, points, all-time scoring points, or assists, or anything that you were kind of keeping an eye on?
I was looking at it yesterday, specifically related to milestones. I don't think, we've had a few people the last few years come through and reach the 1,000-point club. Haley Wyatt did it last year. Allison Jones did it last year. I don't think we're going to have any milestone reachers this year, but right now we've got Sarah Robinson's playing really well. She's probably getting close to 1,000 at the end of the year. Lindsey Price is our point guard. She's one of the nation's leaders in assists right now. and really just the women in general are just doing just really well.
How often do the rankings come out on the NAI? Every week? Every 2 weeks? Each week? So I know we got the college basketball, the men's and women's Division I rankings coming out here in a minute we'll talk about. But so the Milligan ladies are in Florida. Wise that Coach Aubrey is. The men are in New York. Lord have mercy. You know, when you come back, you get into the heat of the AAC conference slate too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most of January is AAC games.
Who's the top dog right now on the men's side and on the ladies' side in the entire conference?
On the men's side, it's Union, and we played them last week. Played them pretty close, but they're ranked number 10 in the nation, top of the conference. I don't think they've lost a conference game yet. And then on the women's side, it's we're. I think right now we're in a share of the lead with Reinhardt. But we're ranked number 23. I think Reinhardt's receiving votes, and there's one other team. I think Bryan is receiving votes too. So there's 3 teams on the women's side who are kind of battling for that top spot.
Daniel Manget, the Sports Information Director. Sports Information Director of the Year, by the way. 12 schools across 6 states. He is numero uno. You going to try and defend your crown for that?
I hope so.
Well, you should.
Why not?
If you're exactly right. If you're number 1, you should be, exactly. You should be come back to defend yourself.
Right.
All right. Give me the same thing you got me for Christmas last year. It was nice. It was nice, yeah. It's absolutely nothing. All right, good job. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you coming over here.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you.
There you will. You'll see me before it's over with. Yeah, I'm like there's my buddy Dina Taylor watching. Hello, Dina. Dustin Moore. Hello, Dustin Moore, one of the good guys in Kingsport and the Tri-Cities. And Dina Taylor, that's Seminole Mama. And so we appreciate her also. Poppy Jim, watching. We're live again at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. We've talked to Shawn Witten, the Elizabethton head football coach, has been by. Daniel Manget and Chris Lane from Milligan College have been by. And also Doug Fritz is coming in a little while to talk a little sports with the Johnson City Press. Let's run down the NFL schedule for you coming up this week. Again, Thursday night, the Rams with a new coach. John Fassel, the interim coach, will be in Seattle to battle the Seahawks on Thursday night. Saturday, pretty big ball game in the AFC East, particularly for the Miami Dolphins, still trying to get into the playoffs. They're 8-5. They'll be playing host to the lowly New York Jets at 4-9. That'll be coming up on Saturday night. Then everything else goes on a typical Sunday. Philadelphia, Baltimore. The Ravens losing a tough one last night, 30-23. So it'll be Philadelphia at 5-8 in Baltimore at 7-5. Ravens still the 8th seed in the AFC playoffs. Cleveland's in Buffalo. The Bills need to win. They're 6-7. And so, thank you, Dina. That's very sweet of you. Very, very kind. And so, again, the camera on the Facebook, there's a glare. There's no curtain here in the window, so I'm trying to keep the glare off. So, not a real good camera angle, but it is what it is. Cleveland and Buffalo. Detroit against the New York Giants. That's a big one. Both of those teams in the top 8 right now in the seeding. Detroit with a record of 9-4, leading the NFC North. And again, the Giants, after sweeping the Cowboys, 8-4. And so that's a big one in the NFC. That'll be coming up on Sunday afternoon in New York. Steelers in Cincinnati. Bengals at 5-7. The Steelers on top of the North at 8-5 in the AFC. That's a big trap game for the Steelers. They've got to come out ready to go for Roethlisberger and the guys in Cincinnati. Tennessee. Rain Taylor says, go Saints. Who they got this week? Saints have Arizona in Arizona. We'll get to them in just a second. Let's see. Who else? The Titans in Kansas City. Chiefs swept my Raiders. They're 10-3 on top of the AFC West. They're tied with the Raiders. Titans are really getting things turned around. They're tied with Houston in the AFC South at 7-6. So good year for Mike Mularkey and the Titans right now. Also in NFL football, Green Bay will be in Soldier Field to battle the Bears. Poor old Chicago, 3-10, but throw the records out on this one in Soldier Field. They can play the spoiler. Green Bay trying to hang on to an outside-looking-in playoff spot, and so they're 7-6. The Bears at 3-10. They'll do that one in Soldier Field in Chicago on Sunday. Indianapolis and Minnesota against the Vikings. Adrian Peterson announcing he will play on that Christmas Eve game for the Vikings after major knee surgery, and so it'll be Indianapolis in Minnesota. The Colts at 6-7, and Minnesota, as we said, on at 7-6. Man, what a disappointing year for the Vikings. They came out of the gate at 6-0. They are 7-6 now, and they're going to be, as we said, at home. They're still in the playoff hunt in the NFC, hosting the Colts on Sunday. Jacksonville at Houston. Texans still trying to maintain one of those top 8 seeds. They're 7-6, tied with the Titans on top of the AFC South. And again, the opponent for their football team, it'll be Jacksonville. That just got awful. They are just 2-11. There'll be a coaching change in Jacksonville if they'll start the end of the season and not before. Rain Taylor Saints will be in Arizona to battle the Cardinals. And it's Kate. Kate says, go Cowboys. We have a split family over there at the Taylor household. And then, of course, see, Daddy likes the Seminoles and Mama likes the Seminoles, but these guys, the girls like Dina, or rather Rain likes the Saints, and little Kate likes the Cowboys. There you go. The Saints will be in Arizona to battle the Cardinals. They are 5-7-1, and Seattle, I'm sorry, not Seattle, but the Saints, New Orleans had 5-8. Also, San Francisco and Atlanta, we talked about earlier. Hello, Brian Sharp. Thank you, my friend, for watching. New England will be in Denver. Interesting football game there. The Patriots at 10-2 against the Broncos, who are trying to get into the playoffs as a wild card team. They're at 8-5. That's a huge game in the AFC. That'll be coming up again on a short week for New England. They'll be in Colorado to battle the Broncos on Sunday afternoon. My boys, the Raiders, will be in San Diego to battle the Chargers, trying for the sweep. Oakland at 10-3, and the Chargers at 5-8. And then on Sunday night, Tampa Bay will be in Dallas to battle the Cowboys. That one's a big one for the Buccaneers at 8-5, tied with the Falcons on top of the NFC South. Tampa Bay at 8-5. Of course, the Cowboys at 11-1 or 11-2 now, with the best record in the NFL, along with the New England Patriots. And then on Monday Night Football, coming up a week from last night, will be Carolina in Washington to battle the Redskins. That's your NFL schedule. And again, the next one coming up will be on Thursday. It'll be the Rams in Seattle to battle the Seahawks at 8:25 kickoff from Seattle. We're live with the Hokie Smokie. Man, you can smell it. Woo-hoo. They are smoking the food back there, literally. And you've got here front the House Smokie Spud, a big old tater, just covered in good food here in the House Smokie Spud, the Hokie Turkey Club. Again, by the way, anything you want to know about this, go to HokieSmokie.com. You have the Hokie Turkey Club, the barbecue sandwich served with fries and drink, or with the brisket. The beef brisket is out of this world here at Hokie Smokie. You got to come in and try that too. It'll set you free. The Smokie Dog, which is fries and served with the fries and a drink, or the Smokie Hokie, which is a turkey leg served with fries and a drink. And all this again here at the Hokie Smokie, right across from the Johnson City Mall. And you cannot go wrong. Of course, don't forget, they are smoking turkeys and hams for the holidays, for Christmas. And so you can, again, come by here and order. They'll be ready on Christmas Eve. You can order your ham or hams. The turkeys are a 10 to 12 pound turkey, and the ham's right around an 8-pound ham. So if you're looking for a smoked ham or smoked turkey for Christmas, you don't want to do the cooking, or for New Year's Eve, you can come over here and order from the Hokie Smokie, and we'll have them ready for you. Hello to Kim Miller-Campbell. What a sweet lady she is. She's watching. Brian Sharp and Dina Taylor and our buddy Steve Shipley down in Middle Tennessee watching, former coach at Dobbins Minute. We appreciate him very much. You can watch or hear this show 3 different ways now on AM 790 across 3 states. Of course, in Northeast Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, Western North Carolina, and I guess in the fringes of Eastern Kentucky. Hello, Bill Patrick. Thank you, my friend, for giving us a watch and a listen. We were driving to West Virginia a couple of weeks ago. We picked the station up all the way to Jenkins, Kentucky. So I guess 4 states, to be honest with you. We lost it pretty quick after we dropped over the mountain into Kentucky. But so 4 states. Also, we stream audio on WETV790.com. And then, of course, we are on Facebook Live, and we appreciate that opportunity, too. So 3 different ways you can watch us and listen to us every day. Tomorrow we'll be at Mike's Medicine Mart in Kingsport, one of our great sponsors. Thursday we'll be at Champion Chevrolet. We'll be there on the Bristol Motor Mile here in Johnson City. Next week, we're going to be, where we're going to be on Monday. We said that earlier. We're going to be at Hardee's in Colonial Heights on Monday, broadcasting live. We're all over the place as we get ever so closer to Christmas 2016. We'll take a break, come back, we'll play the touchstones, get you qualified to win some free cold cash like Bill Lister did at Gray. He came by and picked up his check today, so you can do it. We're going to give it away on Friday. All you got to do is be listening for the touchstone and be the right caller coming out of the break here. We'll get you qualified to win some free cold cash for Christmas from the Tom Taylor Sports Show live at the Hokie Smokie Restaurant in North Johnson City. All right, Facebook folks, again, juggling radio and Facebook at the same time. So follow the show on Facebook, Tom Taylor Sports Show, and also on Twitter at Tom Taylor Sports. On both sites, you can see a daily guest list of who's going to be on the show. Also, don't forget to follow me on my personal Facebook page as well, Tom Taylor. So that's where we are. And things growing every day, and we appreciate that very much. So hello to Kim Miller-Campbell and Jerry Keller. Hello, Jerry, and Brian Sharp. So this is a cool place for sure to come over here and eat. And see, Taylor's working today, and Nick's here, and Kirsten's here. Of course, Jeff's here. So good stuff. There's Russ Rogers up there. I haven't seen Russ in a long time. And wow, it's pretty cool. I haven't seen him in the Coons age. So there you go. Anyway, Facebook folks, we'll come back to you in just a second, and we will carry on here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And give me a swig of tea here. What's our Mickey Ticky? I gotta start bringing my timer. Doug's gonna talk about that. Now, where's the? Oh, that's not it. It's okay. In the newspaper. Thank you. 30 minutes things over, huh? They're so busy, he can't come on and talk. The owner. Yeah. Yep. Okay, what'll I do? Touchstone's going across the radio. Give us a call. Be caller number 3 right now. 929-7900. Why would you not? I'm going to give away free cold cash for Christmas on Friday. We'll put a little check in your hand, and you'll be a happy camper like Bill Lister was. Be caller 3 right now. 929-7900 is the number to call, and we'll be looking for your phone call here coming up in just a few minutes. Or call now. He'll tell us who's won, I should say. 929-7900 is the number to call. We mentioned the college football bowl schedule started. 6 big ones on Saturday. The Celebration Bowl in Atlanta, North Carolina Central 9-2, and Grambling at 11-1. The New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque, University of Texas San Antonio, New Mexico. The Las Vegas Bowl, San Diego State and the Houston Cougars. That'll be at 3:30, the Las Vegas Bowl. The Camellia Bowl, we mentioned that one earlier in the show. Appalachian the Mountaineers at 9-3, taking on Toledo at 9-3. That will be a 5:30 kickoff coming up at Montgomery, Alabama, or in Montgomery, Alabama, the Camellia Bowl. The Cure Bowl, the Cure Band-Aid, if you will. That's the name of the bowl in Orlando. The Cure Bowl, Central Florida and Arkansas State at 7 o'clock on Saturday. And the final bowl on day 1, the Bowl Bonanza, Southern Miss and Louisiana Lafayette taking on one another in the New Orleans Bowl, the 9 o'clock kickoff in New Orleans. So that's your college bowl there. Also, some other playoff games going on in the FCS playoffs. The semifinals, James Madison will take on North Dakota State, both 12-1. It'll be at 7 o'clock on one side of the semifinals. In the FCS playoffs, the other side will be Youngstown State and Eastern Washington. The Division II playoffs, the championship on Saturday in Kansas City. North Alabama 11-1 taking on Northwest Missouri State. North Alabama 11-1, Northwest Missouri State at 14-0. That'll be the Division II. The Division III playoffs in Salem, Virginia on Friday. Wisconsin Oshkosh at 13-1 takes on Mary Hardin Baylor's College at 14-0. That'll be coming up again on Friday night in Salem, Virginia at 7 o'clock. Then the NAIA playoffs. St. Francis out of Indiana 12-1 taking on Baker, Kansas 14-0. That'll be played at Daytona Beach, where it's warm down there today, I'd say. A little cold outside here, damp. It's got some rain coming. Got a little raw day going on here in the hills of East Tennessee. So that's what's going on there. Doug Fritz will be joining us coming up here in a few minutes. So what's going on again with Fritz and the folks of the Johnson City Press, one of our great dear friends. And we want to get out there. Here we go. Found it. From the Johnson City Press. Thought I lost it, but nope, it is here. Didn't dig far enough in my pile of stuff. College basketball polls round. First off for the men, the AP Top 25, Top 10, Villanova, UCLA, Kansas, Baylor, and Duke are the top 5. Then comes Kentucky, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Indiana, and the Creighton Blue Jays round out the top 10. A couple of new teams in this week. The The Florida State Seminoles in at number 23 in the men's poll, and the Trojans of Southern Cal are 24th. Those are 2 new entries this week into the men's AP Top 25 college basketball. For the ladies, the top 10, of course, Tennessee nowhere to be found. They're really struggling. They're a 4-4 team right now. College polls are out. UConn, to no surprise, number 1 in girls or women's basketball. Then comes Notre Dame, Baylor, Maryland, Mississippi State, South Carolina. The Lady Seminoles of Florida State are number 7 in the country. Louisville, number 8. Number 9 is UCLA, and rounding out the top 10 for the ladies are the Lady Cardinal from Stanford. Arizona State at number 23 this week. The Lady Ducks from Oregon at 25th. Those are 2 new entries. And again, the Lady Hokies Virginia Tech at 10-0. They're ranked 24th in the country. So a big year so far for their first-year coach and for the Lady Hokies at Virginia Tech. And that's what's going on in women's and men's college basketball. High school basketball, let's take a look at it right now. Let's see. Mr. Ben Foy, who did we get qualified? Hello, Betty Herring. Thank you, dear. Appreciate you. Hey, Kirsten, is Jeff here? He's gone. He boogied. He boogied. Okay, that's all right. So we can still talk about the Hokie Smokie menu, which we have in place. It's pretty full in here. There's a couple of booths open, but not many here for lunch. Here's basketball tonight. Last night, Happy Valley. How about sweet Georgia Brown? I'm going to tell you that, Ben Foy. Betty Herring, thank you, dear, in Kingsport, Tennessee, for again winning, and you're not winning, the qualifying to win some free cold cash. We'll give it away on Friday. Sweet Georgia Brown, we got it? Hit. Well, you know how it is. I'm all over the road here. I'm excited. You know that better than me, right? You're all over the road. That's okay. At least I'm in between the stripes. At least I'm on the road. Happy Valley beat Johnson County last night in boys basketball, 63-58. Tonight, here we go. Science Hill, Unicoi County. Daniel Boone playing host to Gate City. Sullivan South at Volunteer tonight. You got Sullivan Central, the Cougars at Sullivan East. Sullivan North will be in Elizabethton, the Battle of the Cyclones. Cloudland at University High. Unaka at Hampton, and South Green and North Green. That's the boys' games. Now for the ladies last night, Happy Valley's girls beat Johnson County 67-38. Sullivan Central's Lady Cougars a 16-point win over Volunteer in the conference game. Tonight, Science Hill, Unicoi County, as we said, Gate City at Daniel Boone, South at Volunteer, Central at Sullivan East, Sullivan North at Elizabethton, Cloudland at University High, the Hampton Lady Bulldogs hosting Unaka, and South Green and North Green. Standings for the boys in the Big 7 on top right now, Science Hill 2-0, and the Three Rivers, Happy Valley on top at 2-0. Then comes Sullivan East and Elizabethton. And then in the Watauga Valley Conference right now, North Green. Nobody's really started conference play there yet, but North Green off to a 12-1 start for this season. For the ladies, Big 7 conference leader right now, the Lady Trailblazers of Daniel Boone. Three Rivers, the ladies of Happy Valley currently on top at 2-0. And Watauga Valley's not got started yet, but South Green, the non-conference schedule, they are the best record right now in the Watauga Valley. South Green at 9-1. So there you go. That's your numbers again for the high school girls and guys and high school basketball here in the hills of East Tennessee. Back to college football, Tennessee senior quarterback Joshua Dobbs and senior defensive back Cameron Sutton have accepted their invitations to the Reese's Senior Bowl. A game set for January 28th in Mobile, Alabama. Dobbs, of course, the regular season 2,655 passing yards for Tennessee and an SEC best 26 passing touchdowns. Sutton, who's been a shutdown cornerback for the Vols for 4 straight years, limited to 6 games this season due to an injury he suffered against Ohio back on September the... There's Poppy Jim on September the 17th. He has 22 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and an INT on the season. So Dobbs and Sutton have been invited and have accepted invitations to the Senior Bowl coming up January 28th in Mobile, Alabama. Let's see what's going on in the National Hockey League from last night. 2 games on the ice. The Penguins skate past Arizona 7-0. Boston in overtime skated past Montreal 2-1. Tonight, the Predators will take on the St. Louis Blues, one of the top teams in the Western Conference of the National Hockey League. Will skate, of course, in Nashville. L.A. at Buffalo, Washington against the Islanders in New York, Carolina hosting Vancouver. The Blackhawks will be in New York to skate against the Rangers. That's a good one there. Blackhawks on top of the Central Division of the Western Conference. The Rangers in second place in the Metro Division of the Eastern Conference of the National Hockey League. Arizona skates at Detroit. St. Louis, as we said, in Nashville. San Jose, the Sharks in Toronto against the Maple Leafs. Florida skates in Minnesota. Anaheim at Dallas. And Columbus, the Blue Jackets in Edmonton against the Oilers in the National Hockey League action for tonight. Then the NBA from last night. You had winners Indiana, Miami, the Clippers, the Kings, Toronto, Brooklyn. All get wins last night. Tonight you got Memphis at Cleveland, Orlando and Atlanta to battle the Hawks, Golden State of New Orleans, Minnesota will be at Chicago to battle the Bulls, the Knickerbockers in Phoenix to battle the Suns, Oklahoma City at Portland. And that's your schedule tonight in the NBA. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We are live again at the Hokie Smokie here in North Johnson City. We've got everything but 2 tables full, so it's busy, and with good reason. Food is fantastic here, and again, don't forget that you can order by simply calling or going online at hokiesmokie.com. You have an opportunity to talk to them about catering. Excuse me, if you're going to be tailgating, cater. They'll cater your event for Christmas or for New Year's. He also has the food trailer. You can bring into your business to sell right off the food trailer. He does that a lot. In fact, he said he was doing one of those yesterday in Bristol. So that's a possibility too. And of course, as we said, you can order your Christmas hams and Christmas turkeys here, and they'll order them now and pick them up on Christmas Eve, again here at the Hokie Smokie in North Johnson City. We'll be back right after this. Again, we are live, and here comes Doug Fritz right on time. Fritz, he joins us coming up next here. Perfect timing as he walks in. Doug Fritz joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show at the Hokie Smokie restaurant in North Johnson City.
How you doing? I got some traffic.
Yeah.
It's like they're doing some kind of work up there on top of the hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, Facebook folks.